Play begins with each player receiving 2 cards face down from the dealer. With the action always moving in a circle, players must first make a betting decision based on the value of the first 2 cards alone. A word about the money. The 5 round winners each bring £8,000 to the final table. They are Surinder Sunar, Malcolm Harwood, Yin Kai Lin, Peter Evans, and Dave Ulliott. The 5 runners-up each bring £4,000. They are Liam Flood, Dave Welch, Beryl Cook, Joe Beavers, and Joe Fernandez. That makes a total of £60,000 on the table, $40,000 to the winner. Using our famous under-the-table cameras, we'll have the luxury of seeing all the players' hands. Of course, they have no way of knowing anyone's cards but their own. What these players are trying to achieve is to make the best possible 5-card hand of 7 available. Here you see the ranking of all 5-card poker hands. The best you could make is a straight flush. Something like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all of the same suit. Here comes the flop. These 3 cards are community cards. That is, every player can use them along with their own cards to help in making the best poker hand. The action's on Surinder, and he checks or declines to bet. So we're going to see the 4th card, or the turn card, for free. The devilfish is firing. Surinder's got those 2 queens, but no help from the board, and he's only got those 2 queens. It's his action, and he calls the £500 and look at the last card. It's an 8 of diamonds. Let's see what they have. The devilfish can use the 10 of diamonds in his hand and the 4 diamonds on board to make a flush. That's a lot better than Surinder's hand, which is just a pair of queens. Action's on the devilfish, and he checks. So does Surinder. We'll see a showdown. Best hand wins the pot. Dave Ulliott shows his flush. Surinder can't beat it. Devilfish wins the first one.
That's a lesson, boys. Don't try and nick my blinds because I don't give them up.
With me tableside again is the chief editor of Poker Europa magazine, the Duke of Diamonds himself, Nick Sharametta. How are you tonight, Nick?
Pretty good, thanks, Jesse.
You know, our local resident bookmaker in the gallery has installed Surinder and the Devilfish as favorites in this tournament. Why do you think that is? Is it because they both got the £8,000 chip lead?
No, I'd say that the resident bookmaker's a pretty good judge. Both of those have got World Series experience, which counts for a lot. This is a very, very tough field. You know, a very, very tough final table.
Call. Pass.
Well, we got a pot brewing here. Beryl Cook raised with an ace-king, and looks like the Devilfish is called behind her with an ace-9. Beryl's got to like that situation.
It depends what the flop is.
Raise a lane.
4,000.
There goes Liam. He's just made a £4,000 all-in raise with his ace-king. That's amazing, and that's our first all-in bet tonight.
Pass.
When a player's got their chips all in, all the chips in the center, if they lose the pot, they're out of the tournament. But they can't be bet out. Beryl folded pretty quick, and it's on Dave with the ace-9 to make a decision. He can only call or fold, and you'd have to guess he's going to fold here, Nick.
Yeah, there's no way he can call Liam's bet. He showed weakness by just calling Beryl's £600 bet. Liam knows that his ace-king is best.
It's a £3,400 raise. That's a very big bet for this stage of the game.
First one is always the hardest.
Dave's folded and Liam's won it.
I think the last one.
That's £1,200 he picked up without having to show his cards. That was a pretty quick fold by Beryl, wasn't it? I mean, she had an ace-king also.
Yeah, she was, I think, worried that Liam had either a pair of aces or a pair of kings. And of course, she would have very little chance against either of those hands.
Yeah, there could be some nerves in play, too. I mean, no one wants to be the first player out on only the third hand.
Call. Pass.
But then again, no one's going home empty-handed, are they, Nick?
Pass.
No. I mean, second place takes home 7,000, third 3,000, and everybody else
Raise.
gets between £1,000 and £1,500.
Raise to 7.
Well, Beryl's on the move again. She's got an ace-queen of spades, and she made it £700 to go.
Call.
Devilfish called again. That's the second time he's called her. He can't like that 7-8 of clubs.
That's a sort of hand you can trap people with.
Two players, and there's the flop.
And there's the trap.
Oh my lord. The Devilfish has flopped 2 pair. Barrel checks
1,000.
1,000 pounds. That's a steady bet. The pot stands at 1,700 pounds. 1,000 pounds on barrel. She can fold, call, or raise. If she does call, the pot will stand at 3,700 pounds. Her cards looked a lot better before the flop, didn't they?
Call.
She's gonna call. See the 4th card. That turn's a killer. Looks like Devilfish has got a full house.
Of course.
Barrel's just moved all in.
Oh, she's got finesse.
1,400. Look at what we got here. Ace Queen for barrel and 7-8, which is a full house.
Well, there's another card to come, but there's no card that can help Barrel at this point.
And Beryl thought Devilfish was bluffing, and she tried to get her bluff in first. Unfortunately, found him with an absolute monster.
Here you can see Devilfish will use the 7-8 in his hand with the 2 7s and 8 on the board to make a full house. Barrel's also got a pair of 7s, but with an ace queen high, and that's not going to cut it.
Devilfish can't believe his luck. He's picked up 4,000 pounds, and all he had to do was call with a full house. Easy decision.
Yeah. Explain those blinds to us, Nick.
Okay, the blinds are the force bets which the first 2 players have to make before any cards are dealt. The size of those blinds fixes the size of the game, really. The bigger the blinds get, the higher the stakes get. And they go up every half hour, don't forget.
Yeah, right now they're still where they started at 1 in 200 pounds. That puts 300 pounds in the pot before anyone sees their cards. Well, Peter found himself an ace-jack, and he put 800 pounds in the pot because of it. The action's on Joe. Joe Beavers is counting down his stack. Well, if he knew Peter had an ace-jack, he'd feel pretty strong with those jacks, wouldn't he? I'd stick that money in a hurry.
I think he may do anyway.
He called.
Pass.
800 pounds around.
Thank you.
2 players remaining, and we'll see a flop.
2 players.
9-4 deuce helps neither player. Action's on Joe Beavers.
It's good for Joe, though. He wants to see cards below a jack on the board.
I'm all in.
Sure enough, he's leading. Gotta like that bet there, huh?
He's all in.
Joe's put his chips all in. Peter folded up like a cheap suitcase. Well, people are striking pretty quick.
Yeah, the short stacks are anxious to improve against the people who started with 8,000, so they're going to take a few chances early on.
Straight into whatever you got.
Pass.
The other pair?
It is 4 bets.
Malcolm's out.
Raise to 500.
Kylan's made a raise to 500 pounds. He's got the 2 hooks. Imagine he likes that hand. We just saw Joe Beavers win with it.
Pass.
Pass.
Good fold by Liam.
Pass.
A lot of respect here for Yin Kai-Lin.
Pass.
Fold it around. Action's on surrender. It's only 300 pounds to him to call because he's in the big blind.
Cool.
It looks like he's calling with something that would be considered a little marginal, wouldn't you say, Nick?
Very marginal, but if he hits, he could win a monster.
3 players.
Oh, that's given surrender some action. He's got a pair of 5s and 5, 6, 7, 8 straight draw. That's the flop. Yin's still leading with the jacks, but I can't imagine surrender having a much better flop than that. He's bet 1,200 behind the mirrored shades. Hello.
Raise.
Peter Evans is in this hand too. He's been sitting quiet with the ace-2 of clubs. What has he got?
He's got 4 clubs, and there were 2 clubs on the board. He's trying to draw another club on the table to give him a flush, Because he's got the ace, if he makes his flush, it will be the nut flush, which is unbeatable.
£1,200 bet by Yin Kai Lin, raised to £3,000 by Peter Evans. It's £3,000 to call for surrender sooner. That's a lot of money to call on a draw on a pair of fives, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Guess he has to consider that someone could have a straight right now.
And also the fact that there's two clubs on the table limits his options.
Pass.
He does fold. It'll be back on Yin Kai Lin. Tough situation with two jacks here. £1,800 to him to call.
2,500 more.
Excuse me, 2,500 more.
Another, yeah, that's right.
Okay, that's
It's a big pot.
okay, it's fine.
About £6,000 to £7,000 in there.
If it's a dime. We're going to see the turn card, the fourth card. Oh, that's everything Peter Evans wanted. He's made the nut flush. That's the best hand available on the board.
It's an unbeatable ace-high flush. At this point in the game, he cannot be losing. He's just figuring out how to make as much money as possible.
Yin's checked to him. It looks like he's put something in there.
13.
Dealer announced 1,300.
That's a milking bet.
Sure, with a pot at 7,000, if he was scared of Kai Lin drawing out, he would probably push the whole stack in. Kai Lin's got to be a little nervous about that four clubs. It could have made someone straight or the flush. Well, good fold in that spot by Kai Lin.
There's also the possibility of a straight. There's 4, 5, 6, 8, so there are quite a lot of hands which Peter could have held, which are going to beat his pair of jacks, which are going to make it impossible for him to win with his jacks. So it wasn't such a difficult fold.
Not yet.
Your blinds, please.
100 and 200, please. Thank you.
Wow.
Kai Lin's just lost a pot and he's coming in for the next one. Call the £200 bet.
Raise.
Action's on Liam, but we haven't seen him call anything tonight. He only raises.
Raise to 800.
Sure enough, he's made a £600 raise. And they're folding like 10 pins.
Pass. Pass.
Passed around a surrender. It'd be £700 to him to call. Doesn't like it.
Pass. Thanks.
It's only Liam and Kai Lin left. Kai Lin calls for £600 and we've got a £1,500 pot. Let's see the flop. Ace Jack for Liam. That's stronger than Kai Lin's Ace 4, isn't it, Nick?
Kai Lin's in trouble already.
Okay.
Here's the flop.
2 players.
Oh, it's pair over pair. Liam's got the highest pair,
All in.
and he's going all in with it.
All in.
If Kai Lin calls and loses this, he's out the game.
That's at least a $3,500 bet from Liam into the £1,500 pot.
Yeah, he's got more chips than Kai Lin,
For sure he does.
and he's also got a better hand. The only card that Kai Lin can hit to save him in the tournament is a 4. If he hits an ace, it's no good to him because Liam's got one as well.
Kai Lin's called. If he loses this hand, he'll be out of the tournament. We're going to see 2 more cards.
Yeah, there's the ace, but it's no good, as I said. Only a 4. Only a 4 can keep him in the competition.
Liam's leading.
And after all that hard work in the preliminary rounds when he dominated it, he's second to go.
Yeah. Aces and jacks beats aces and 4s.
Okay, the limit.
Kai Lin's out. He'll take his £1,500 though.
And Liam's more than doubled through. He's started with 4,000, he's now got more than 8,000. He must be a happy person.
And then there were 8 cowboys.
8 players left, only one of whom is going to walk away with the £40,000 first prize. Who do you like at this stage, Nick?
Liam's been going pretty good. He's actually increased his stack considerably from the 4,000, which he started with, and he's also being very aggressive, but we haven't actually heard much from Surinder or Devilfish, who are my other two picks.
Nor Malcolm either. In fact, this is the first time he's moved any chips.
Pass.
Looks like a serious raise, and I imagine he's going to get a lot of respect from it. Devilfish to act.
Pass.
Like to gamble with another son.
Pass.
I mean, we wait so long this time.
Surinder is asking for an exact count on the all-in bet.
Makes a total of 3,300.
Looks like Malcolm's sitting with the ace-queen. If Surinder's really thinking about it, that ace-queen's going to be in some trouble, wouldn't you say, Nick?
Yeah. Malcolm doesn't look at all worried. Just chewing away there.
I'd be quaking in my boots with an ace-queen at this point, and Surinder fiddling with those chips.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he's got him locked up.
Ace King of Spades. His big favourite against Malcolm's hand. If Surinder knew what Malcolm had, he wouldn't be able to get his chips in fast enough.
Malcolm at the average.
Dead heat. Dead heat. No,
Hey, Malcolm, you told a fib. Every time you tell a fib, a fairy dies.
That was a real sick of that.
Barrel.
Oh. Is that it?
On to the next hand.
Wait for some mug to come over there.
Blinds are at 2 and 400 pounds now. That's 600 pounds in the pot from the start. Devilfish has got a whole lot of chips there, on the virtue of the full house he put barrel out with.
Raise to 1,000.
He's raised about 600 pounds. It's 1,000 to
Always
go.
want to do that, re-raise you.
3,900. Plus.
Malcolm told the story. He's re-raised the Devilfish and he's gone all in. Looks like about 2,200 pounds or so.
It happens once a year.
Alright, come on then, you got me as well.
Come on, Paul.
Joe Beavers has reared his head.
Show it in.
He's all in as well.
I'm frightened to move my hands.
The last one. The last razor. What'd you show?
Which way is it going?
The original raiser is going to watch from the sidelines.
You're still in.
And we're down to 2 players.
3,700. Take 2 off.
My wife's going to have a problem
Take
there,
2
isn't
down.
she?
Take 2 down.
Because she's got you in the sweeps. I think she's cheering.
Well, they're not both all in, but Malcolm's only got 200 pounds left, so you would imagine this is a crucial pot for both of them.
Not a big mirror.
Pair of jacks for Malcolm.
Okay, pair of checks for Malcolm.
Joe Beavers won with that hand earlier today. Oh, Joe's got the Cowboys. Have to imagine he likes that spot.
I walked into a big one.
There's the flop that helps no
I wish I'd
one.
have had ace jack.
Malcolm's going to need a jack to get out of this one.
Oh, that was nearly a king.
He's dead now.
Yeah, that's the killer card.
Match straight. Flush.
Hard done, Malcolm.
Joe Beavers makes 3 kings,
One more card, you might make a straight.
and Malcolm needs a shoulder to cry on.
Good shot. Only for your wife I pay this hand, otherwise I'd have thrown
Right,
it
just
away.
make sure you carry on now.
That's a pretty good spot for Joe Beavers to have found himself in before the flop. Pair of kings and a raise and a re-raise to him.
Now, this is the situation which everybody is looking to get themselves in the opportunity to double through.
This will be good television if I can win it now.
He's only got 2 lowly chips.
You're going to get more out of this.
He's just got the small blind, and that's it.
Basically, he's looking at 2 more hands, unless he picks something up very big.
What a time to find this hand there.
Surinder's called the 400 pound, and
All in.
Malcolm's gone all in.
Pass. Pass.
Malcolm is all in with 200s.
I think Malcolm's got a big hand and no money.
Well, he's put his remaining 200 pounds in the pot. Joe calls on the button with an ace-4. That's a little optimistic, to say the least. We've got 5 players, 1 all in. pot stands at 1,800 pounds. That's Devilfish with the Queen 3. He's in the big blind. He has no choice but to play it. Here's the flop.
5 players.
Pair of 3s for the Devilfish.
Okay.
He's going to check that action. Surrender's got a pair of 5s.
1,000.
Says it's worth 1,000 pounds. That's Malcolm with the ace 10. They looked a lot better before the hand started. Well, Joe Beaver's picked up a straight draw, hasn't he? 5 would make him that low wheel.
Yeah, just one small thing. Surrender's got 2 of the 5s.
And 1,000 pounds is a lot of money to pay for one card.
I don't think Joe's going to call this.
Pass. Pass.
Back around the Devilfish, who we know is trailing with the 2 3s.
The 3 guys, they're going to leave Surrender to try and beat Malcolm out of the tournament.
Malcolm has ace 10 of diamonds. Surrender has pair of 5s.
Well, Surrender's leading. Malcolm's going to need a 10 or an ace if he wants to stay in this
I guess
thing.
if you find another 5,
No, even an ace is no good now.
No, ace is not
Would make Surrender a straight.
5's good.
5.
Here's the river.
Flush. Flush.
Well, Surrender's made a flush. He didn't even need it. But that's going to be a big hand at this point.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
And Malcolm Harwood finishes 8th.
For Mr. Beavers.
Get your funky boots on, pal.
You can see that Surrender will use the 5 of spades from his hand with the 4 spades on board to make a flush. Malcolm had some pretty cards before the flop, but he's just got a pair of 9s when the dirt clears. And then there were 7, Nick.
I still fancy my picks.
Well, our chip leader right now is clearly Dave the Devilfish.
Pass. Call.
Joe Fernandez raises from the button. No, he's just called the 400 pounds, and that's really the first hand we've seen him play tonight, isn't it, Nick?
Yeah, he's been very quiet.
Raise 16.
Nice to have legs in Austria.
Surrender's raised about 600 pounds more. There goes Joe.
This is the first time we've seen Joe make a move and he's gone all in.
Well, he's called it well. He's got the best of it with the ace 10. But I can imagine he still wants Surrender to fold. He doesn't know what Surrender's got, of course, but
He's seen Surrender throw the ace-king away earlier because Surrender turned it up. So he must think that by making a strong bet he can get Surrender out. At least that's how I would read it.
Joe sat quietly for a whole hour and hasn't made a move yet. This is the first time he's pushed his chips. One would have to think that he's got a monster.
The thing is that Surrender's accumulated more chips, and that the size of the bet in relation to the total amount of money he has on the table is that much smaller, so he can call this bet without doing any great damage to his overall position.
Yeah, as each of those blue chips are worth 500 pounds, Surrender's got quite a stack of dough.
I think he's got some more hiding behind the reds on the other side as well.
Call.
Call.
Please show your hand.
Well, Surrender's put 2,000 pounds in.
King, queen for Surrender.
Joe's a slight favorite with the ace 10, wouldn't you say?
He is, yeah.
Let's see the flop.
Ah, Joe doesn't like it.
No. Surrender catapults to the lead with a pair of queens, and Joe's going to need an ace to get out of this one. He's all in. This is his only chance. The river card. Not enough.
That's a tough break for Joe.
You can see Surrender's going to match the queen in his hand with a queen on the board to make a pair of queens king kicker. Joe started with the best, but when the smoke cleared, he only had ace high. Well, 6 players left, Nick. Who do you reckon's in control of this one?
I don't think anybody's in control in total sort of way. But Liam, you can see Liam stacking up chips there. He must have a good few thousand. We know that Devilfish and Surrender are both in chips. That doesn't mean the other guys aren't capable of making a comeback.
No, we've seen Liam make a lot of good moves tonight, so he's a threat whenever he puts his chips in the pot. The blinds have been raised. They're now 3 and 600 pounds.
Pass.
Pass.
All in.
All in.
And there's a new voice. That's the first we've seen of Dave Welsh tonight. Sure enough, his stack got quite eroded, didn't it? He's only got about 1,500 pounds there.
700.
He is a very patient player. He knows when to gamble, and I think he's taken the view it's now.
Pass.
Is that because of what David said, or you got a good head?
It's not a very strong hand, but I guess he
Pass.
reckons it's a good time.
Welcome to my small blind.
Oh my god. I'm seeing mine now too.
Sure enough, he's just picked up 900 pounds.
When a player gets short stacked as that, he can't just allow himself to be blinded away. He's got to try and steal. Dave's pretty expert at that. With 6 players left, he'd only got 2,000 pounds. He's got to do something.
I realised it wasn't the spotlight that was blind. He mixed that tie of yours.
60,000 pounds on the table. One player to get 40,000 of it.
Pass. Pass.
I wonder they're being careful.
Joe Beavers. He's played kings, he's played jacks. That's a step down.
1,600. Call.
The bet was 1,600. That's a raise of 1,000 pounds. Surrender's going to fold from the big blind, and we've got 2 players. The Devilfish and Joe Beavers. Liam to still at the side. He's got to call a 1,000 pound raise if he wants to be in this hand, and
Last 2. 8,000. I might have a couple of them.
You might do, you might not.
2 players.
let's see a flop. Well, Joe's made a pair of 8s. He has no idea what Devilfish has, does he?
No, neither have I.
Just called cold behind him on the button.
Oh, Devilfish has flopped top set. That is an absolute monster. And Joe has just walked straight into the trap.
Yeah, 3 10s for Devilfish, and you have to imagine he's just licking his lips as he sees Joe stick these chips in.
And watch the table catch fire as he puts his money in.
Yeah, I'm going over.
Just making sure he does have the 3 10s. Yeah.
You can't believe it.
Oh, Joe's not going to like that. I can't even think of a way he can win this hand.
I'd say he's quietly confident. Joe can win if he catches a straight or something like that, but he requires 2 perfect cards to do so.
Well, he's all in. He's down to the felt, and he's on his last legs.
Joe is all in. He's got 7, 8 of clubs. And Dave has got a pair of 10s. He has trips on the flop.
Still 2 more cards to come, but at this point the Devilfish must be a... I don't know. Well, don't have to figure out the odds anymore, do we, Nick? 4 10s. Unbeatable hand. Devilfish rakes a pot the size of his arm. You can see Devilfish will use the 2 10s in his hand and the 2 10s on board to make 4 10s. Joe Beavers has just got 2 pairs, 10s and 8s, and, well, that's less. Well, that's 2 times now we've seen people just walk right into the Devilfish when he's had a monster hand.
Yeah, he's drawing good cards.
Whichever one, dreaming.
I guess you gotta know how to set the trap, though. A lot of people would have re-raised with those 2 10s before the flop.
Yeah, I think Joe sort of trapped himself there as much as Devilfish setting a trap.
Swapped it for a free to go away.
Raised to 1,600.
1600. That's a raise of £1,000 from surrender.
You're not far wrong. Pass.
Dave's not in. Looks like the bandit's going to call. King, queen suited. That's fair. He's still got some chips behind him. 2 players for the flop.
You Peter's
You
assistant.
concentrate on your end.
Yeah, you stay there.
Ah, not enough.
2 players.
That's no help for a king, queen of clubs. Action's going to be on surrender.
2,000.
Deep reach.
2,000.
Ace jack. Well, he hasn't got a darn thing either, does he, Nick?
But sometimes it's whoever bets first picks up the pot.
And surrender doesn't know it, but he is leading with the ace high. £3,700 in the bet, and surrender's bet 2,000 more on top of it. If the bandit calls, that would put almost £8,000 in this pot, with 2 cards to come. Well, I can't see the bandit calling
He's got a
here.
very serious stack there.
Boy, he does, doesn't he?
There must be 20,000 there.
Pass.
He's decided to fold. I think he was thinking about making a move on surrender and going all in. But he's decided to wait for a better opportunity. Anyway, surrender's happy to take that pot with ace high, that's for sure. 5 players. 5 very tough players, I might add.
The other way?
You'll notice that 3 of my picks are still in. Surrender, Liam, Devilfish. In fact, at this stage, I could fancy all of them.
Pass.
Raise.
Raise.
23.
2,300.
Pass.
Ace queen's a strong hand with 5 players left.
Raise or leave.
Dave moves all in.
Dave's got about £3,000 there that he's sticking in. Oh, there's Dave's hand. Put the money in with an ace king.
Chips.
22,200 to call for you.
2,000 so.
Well, 3,000 to 2.
And he's got a caller
Call.
with the same hand. Oh dear.
She's got lifted. 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5-3.
5, 3.
2 players in, £3,000. Surrender's got a very tough decision with the ace queen. I've already seen him fold an ace king in a fair spot very similar to this.
Okay.
Call. Thank you.
The main pot is 9,000.
This might be our biggest pot yet, Nick. £9,000 before the flop.
3 please.
There it is.
5-3 all in.
He's going all in 5,300.
Okay.
The bandit
All
announced
in.
he was
Yes.
all
All
in.
in.
He's got a lot of money in front of him. He's still got £5,300. Of course, surrender could cover it, couldn't he? Those blues are each worth £500,
5,300.
and the reds are worth £100 each.
What's in the 9?
Looks like surrender's got about 16, 17,000. Ace queen high.
Stuff better 9s or 10s. That's my screen.
Pass.
You got nouns as well.
Pass. Okay.
Showdown. please.
Open your hand, please.
Okay, it's just the 2
Ace
players
king,
left.
Turn. Ace king for
Chuck in your money.
Dave.
You made a good impression, you didn't know why.
Dave's all in, but it looks like it's going to be a split pot.
Okay.
In fact, it is for sure now.
Wow, that was a
They've
black
both got
one.
the same hand. Pair of deuces with the ace king jack. Remember, only 5 cards
He's not
play.
in, I'll get a bet out of it.
And they'll split up surrender's money, won't they?
Yep.
£1,500 each of it. That's not shabby.
And Dave Welsh survives yet again with virtually no money. I wonder how long he can survive.
They're all back with more
yeah, that
chips.
chance.
Well, I don't care who you are at this stage, Nick. If you're one of these 5 players left, you think you've got a serious chance of taking home £40,000. Just a hand in the right spot, that's all it takes.
Certainly. Everybody's in with a shout.
Raise to 2,000.
£2,000 raise from Peter. We see the devilfish through the smoke.
Call.
Calls very coolly. Actions on surrender. He must be the chip leader now.
He's probably a close thing with his devilfish.
Looks like he's got it over 20,000, maybe 24, 25. That's narrowing in on 50% of the chips at the table. £2,000 would hardly dent that stack. The raise came from the bandit. King Jack. That's bizarre. Oh my, those are all blue chips.
Raise to 8,000.
Buckle.
You heard it.
Trying to do it to us.
That's an incredible move.
Has to be trying to pick up the pot right there, wouldn't you say, Nick?
Yes.
Pass.
Pass.
Well, I was going to do that. What you've done.
But I did.
Well, there's no way Dave has more than 8,000 right now, so he's considering going all in, I guess.
Thirsty walk, isn't it?
Oh, that's a tough hand. Of course, if he knew what surrender had, he'd be in there like a hobo on a ham and cheese.
Dear idea. What enabled surrender to make this move is that the devilfish just called the 2,000 threat from Peter Evans.
Sounds again.
Wait,
No, it's Peter.
Not your turn.
Please.
Dave Welch knows if he's going to make his stand, it's right now with 2 jacks. That's devilfish with the ace-queen.
You've got 1 minute, Dave.
How many have I got?
Sorry?
How many have I got?
They've put the clock on Dave Welch.
Let's see.
How many minutes have I got?
Okay. Pass.
Tosses him down.
Pass.
The action's back on the original raiser, Peter Evans, but it's £6,000 back around. I'll bet he didn't expect that when he raised. Wow, 7-9, that's a surprise. He raised under the gun. First action made it £2,000. What?
He's playing. He knows that he's gambling. He's just having a shot just for the hell of it. I think he's just lost patience.
With £40,000 at stake to the winner, you'd say it's almost unbelievable, but it's happening.
Raise to 9,000.
Dave's face tells it all. He's going to stick those right in the muck. Turns out he's best.
He's got £25,000, although
Peter's all in.
Surrender doesn't know what's happening, but he's a big favorite in this spot with a king jack against a 7-9.
big favourite.
£18,000 pot.
Pair of 9s.
Pair of 9s for Peter, but Surrender's got a straight draw.
Surrender's made a straight.
Surrender's made a straight. He's
Peter's
a
made 2
big
pair.
lead. River card. Oh my.
Give it here.
Oh, that's a real kick in the guts for Surrender.
Time to gamble.
What a hand. A straight for Surrender, a full house on the river for Peter Evans. That's a £20,000 pot.
Poker Fairy is alive and well and sitting on the bandit's shoulder.
I should have had his hand, he should have had mine.
Surrender's head has to be spinning at this stage. He just lost £10,000.
Pass. Raise.
The bandit is your chip leader.
2,000.
Devilfish. Aggressive with the ace-king.
Pass.
Back to Liam. He's short. He's probably the shortest stack at the table besides Dave Welsh. And we haven't seen much of him lately, have we?
No, I think he's just been blinding himself away.
Raise all in.
Raise all in.
But not now.
No, last time he raised Dave the Devilfish all in.
4,000.
Devilfish folded, but
6,100.
with an ace king, I
Call.
can't see it happening again.
Liam
We'll
is all
see.
in. 6,100 total. 6,100. Liam has ace-6.
Devilfish
hearts,
called.
6
Oh,
ace-king,
Devilfish is a
Dave
big
under.
favorite with the ace king over the ace six. Liam needs hearts or a six. There's the flop. No help yet for either player. Devilfish leads. Turn card, another deuce. Six. A six will win it for Liam, and that's all.
Not to be.
Ace king.
King keepers.
Deuces with the ace king 10's going to win. Liam put up a very good fight, but he's going to be our fifth place finisher. You can see Devilfish uses the pair of deuces on the board with the ace king in his hand to make deuces ace king high. Liam's also got a pair of deuces, but it's ace 10 high, and that's going to send him home.
This is good.
I found this.
4 players left. Well, everybody's free roll now, just about. I mean, third place is worth £3,000. Second place is £7,000. Whew, there's a lot of money at stake here.
Call.
Okay.
Call.
3 players call the initial bet.
3 players.
We'll see the flop. 3 spades. That's a straight flush hand if I ever saw it.
What's the minimum? 1,000.
1,000.
Dave, that's £1,000. Oh, he's got something serious. 10-3 of spades makes a flush. That's about the nuts at this stage.
He was on the big blind, so they let him in for free. If anybody raised, he'd have thrown it away. And Surinder has had the worst possible thing happen to him. He's flopped a straight 9-10 Jack Queen King.
2 players. Check.
Flush piece of straight every time.
Dave knows he's winning. He's working out how to actually extract the maximum profit out of this.
All in.
All
That's
in.
one way. Very tough call for surrender. If Dave's got the 10 of spades, even if he doesn't have another spade to go with it, then they're tied with the straight and Dave's free rolling to get a flush.
Surinder absolutely hates it.
Well, this would put him very close to all in, if not completely all in. This is why poker's so compelling. If you go out, you've got no shot at the £40,000. And if you fold a winner, well, then you've really given up a lot of chips.
If you look back over what's happened this evening, Dave Welsh has been short stacked all night and is now about to make a significant increase in his stack. Surinder, on the other hand, has had a big stack all night, and if he calls this, is about to become in real trouble.
That's why they say it can change with one card or with one hand, and that's why it's no limit.
Do you think he's going to call?
Well, he's not going to hurry his decision, but they've put the clock on him. This is where I'd start crying if I was in Surinder's shoes.
Call.
Okay, David Welsh is all in. Surrender makes a call.
He's called.
Let's see your cards, please.
One card to come, but
David
we know
Welsh has
Surrender
got
can't win
10
this pot.
spades, there's a flush. 10 check for Surrender. He's got a straight. Pair of checks.
Can't win.
The river means nothing. Dave Welsh takes the pot with a flush. All of a sudden, Dave Welsh is looking very serious indeed.
How much was in that pot?
Well, he bet 5,000, I believe, at the end there. It's probably about 15,000.
Plus.
Yeah, we can see now he's stacking them up. Well, it's at least 13, that's for sure. And with 4 players left, that means he's got 25% of the chips. Dave's got to figure he's got as good a chance as anybody right now.
His patience has paid off.
Sure has. Surrender under the gun, first to act for £1,000. He said raise all in. Well, now he's got to just take a stand with anything. Big blind's coming to him next. He's going all in for 3,300. He could certainly find a worse hand to pick in that spot.
Call.
You see how fast things switch. Now Dave's the one calling with all the chips in reserve. Still 2 players to act. Peter Evans gives it up. 2,300 to the Devilfish.
Call.
Just gonna take a peek. We've seen him have that ace-queen before. 3 players, 10,000 pounds in the pot. Gosh, these pots are big. Here's the flop. 4, 6, 8. That's no good for a king-jack.
Check.
Devilfish looks like he might be leading with the ace-queen. We haven't seen Dave Welsh's cards yet. Pair of 8s on board. Devilfish to act. Surrenders all in. Welsh makes the move. Oh, he's got 3 8s. Well, now the cards are just falling his way, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't know what Devilfish is going to do, but it looks like the end for Surrender.
There's no way Surrender can win.
Made you pass them now, so times only. Got to look at them. Pass.
Pass.
So got ace 8.
Okay, we'll give that to your...
Devilfish passes.
Dave Welsh has
2
ace
players.
8,
Surrenders all in, and we know he can't
eight,
win.
And king, check, and hearts for Surrender. The last card, please.
River card to come. A mere formality.
Full house.
Dave Welsh makes a full house, 3 8s and 2 4s, and Surrenders out of the tournament. Put up a really tough fight, and you have to think he's going to spend a lot of time wondering about that 7-9 the bandit called him with.
Ace queen, yes.
Here you can see Dave Welsh uses the 8 in his hand with the 2 8s and 2 4s on board to make a full house. Surrender's got the 2 8s and 2 4s on board, but he can only make a king kicker. Takes 4th place. Shortest stack to chip leader. What'd you say, Nick?
Not quite chip leader. I think Devilfish has got more chips. The thing to remember is that all of these guys are making some serious money. The minimum anybody goes home with is £3,000, which goes to 3rd place. Second is £7,000, and the winner, of course, takes £40,000. Interesting thing is they all look so relaxed about it.
I wonder if they'll feel so relaxed when they bring that cash out.
3,000.
Devilfish says 3,000. That's a raise of £2,000. It's a lot of money, but they've got so much in front of them. How can they take it seriously? Must be really hard to keep your head at this stage in a tournament.
Yeah. The bandit took a long look at Devilfish just then.
1,000.
Well, one guy we know who's been here before is Dave the Devilfish. He's played in some very big poker tournaments in Las Vegas and around Europe.
3,000.
Also Dave Welsh.
Dave Welsh has as well.
Pass.
Peter Evans is no stranger to the tournament table himself. Oh boy, I don't know who to pick between these
Raise or
three.
in?
Devilfish has just raised all in.
That's a 20,000-pound raise. He has to want to win it right there.
Big move.
Dave Welsh knows that if Dave Elliott's got an ace, he's an underdog in the hand.
All big moves there.
Of course, Dave Elliott is also capable of making a bluff, making a big move with nothing. Oh, how'd you like to try and figure out what he's thinking about?
He's watching him like a hawk, isn't he?
Eyeball to eyeball. It's been a raise of at least 20,000 pounds. 20,000 pounds. Dave Welsh knows if he puts the money in and wins this pot, the tournament's virtually over.
1 minute.
Okay. Give him the man. Pass.
No way Elliott's going to show him that hand.
That might have an effect on Dave. He might be worrying about whether or not he should have called the bet now.
Yeah, I mean, at a stage in the tournament like this, you don't want to let any opportunity get away from you.
Thank you.
Of course, it looks like he made a good fold in my mind. King-Queen was a big dog against the ace-9.
Give him the next card. That's it.
That's a black back.
Okay, fine.
Hier ist die Kartenkissen.
That was a pretty fearless move with ace-9 though.
I'll say.
3,000.
Raise 3,000. Pass.
Pair of hooks. He likes that hand. It's a raise of 2,000 pounds. That'll put 6,500 in the pot. The two Daves to see the flop. You know Dave Welsh has got two jacks.
2 please.
Flop comes ace high. Can't like that if you're Dave Welsh.
Check.
Elliott checks.
4,000.
He says 4,000. That's a fair bet.
It's a big enough bet to get rid of him.
Very hard for Dave Elliott to call in the spot without an ace.
Call.
Calls.
And he's got three of the damn
Oh
things.
my.
You see that?
Okay, thank you.
He called him before the flop. He checked the flop and then called his bet. And he's got him absolutely strangled.
Action on the devilfish, who's sitting tight with 3 aces.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
They're just about to find out why they call him the devilfish.
Check.
He's checked it.
Dave Welsh has to put him on the ace at this point.
Check.
Yeah, I would think so too.
About 8,000. I'll bet you all in. Whatever you've got. 8,100.
You bet all in? Okay. Dave Elliott. Bets all in.
The devilfish announced he's putting Dave Welsh all in. It's the second time he's done it in almost as many hands. This time Dave Welsh has got a pair.
Did you ever see a hand play so well?
I'm staggered. 999 out of 100 players with 40,000 pounds at stake would have stuck all their chips in with the aces before the flop, right? They don't want to give anybody a chance to draw out on that hand.
Yeah, but he called a small raise, checked checked it twice, and now he bets it on the end.
And I guess Dave Welsh is thinking it's a reasonable possibility that Elliott's bluffing. And it is, the way he played the hand. And Dave Welsh is probably also thinking, if the devilfish really did have an ace in his hand, wouldn't he have re-raised before the flop?
Possibly. Dave is no mug, so he's not unaware of the possibilities.
How much is in the marina? How much is in the middle, please?
15 seconds.
Another 4.
Another 8.
Right.
You haven't put this in yet, the 8 to
8 to come on.
yeah. Right, so you got a 10.
Two, three, four, five, 6, 3.
How much is it, Thomas?
14,300.
Dave Welsh wanted to know how much was in the pot before the bet was made. It was 14,000. And he can call for the 8,000 in his chips. That means if he wins, he'd have just about half the chips on the table.
You've either got a big hand or could be winning. I call.
Okay, so 4.
Wow.
8,200.
Wow, wow, wow.
Nice hand.
Two places.
That wasn't totally unexpected
Good
today.
jacks.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dave Welsh departs, stunned by the devilfish. We're down to 2 players. It's just Dave Elliott, Peter the Bandit Evans. And you can't blame Dave Welsh. He played like a champion, but I can't imagine anyone who wouldn't have fallen into that trap. That'll get your heart beating. They've just brought out the 40,000 pounds in cash and put it in the middle of the table. We started with 40 players, and now we're down to 2. And one of them is going to walk away with all those bills. Wrong time to be making a mistake, wouldn't you say, Nick?
Raise.
Yeah, devilfish can afford to make a mistake or two, but Peter can't. That's the difference.
Peter's got about 10,000 in chips in front of him, which leaves a devilfish with almost 50,000 pounds. But he can't cash them in until he gets all the chips. Well, 7 deuces, nothing there. What's the devilfish's strategy right now?
Bully, but stay out of trouble.
If he lets Peter Evans double through, then all of a sudden Peter Evans is going to have 20,000 pounds, and, well, it's a different ballgame at that point, isn't it?
I think what you're going to do is you're going to see devilfish raising, but not so much that he can't escape from the hand if Peter comes back at him.
Pass.
Well, the blinds are 6 and 1,200, so there's 1,800 pounds in the pot before go. It's tough to make a small raise with that size in the pot, isn't it?
Now, the standard sort of raise is going to be 3 times the big blind, so he'll raise something like 3,500 to 4,000.
There we see the devilfish's gold World Series bracelet. You can only get that if you win a World Series of Poker tournament. And they're not for sale.
Call.
This one.
It's been called. We're going to see a flop. 6-8 for 7-9. 2,400 pounds in the pot.
Check.
Check.
Peter's checked.
Check.
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 3 spades on the board.
Pass.
Pass.
Devilfish bets on the come and takes the pot.
There we go, aggression again. Yeah, when both players have got nothing, it's the guy who bets who picks up the pot.
And when there's only 2 players in the hand, they're going to both end up with nothing a lot of the time, aren't they?
Yeah, Heads up, you've only got one person to get rid of. You haven't got an entire table full of people to get rid of. I think we're going to see quite a lot of this from Devilfish.
Yeah, cool.
Call.
Okay.
2 players in and a 2,400-pound flop.
Check.
Check.
That's a dangerous board. 3 5s and a 7.
Check.
Peter's checked twice. 5th card for free.
Check.
No, it's on me. Too fast.
No.
That was going to be the first time we were going to see Devilfish check 3 times in a row, but it didn't happen.
No, but he was best.
Do you think he was laying with the king?
No, but he could have turned his hand over and picked up the pot. Maybe he bet because he didn't want Peter to see it.
Not much movement here. Peter's still looking short-stacked with about 12,000. Well, that looks like a nice hand, I'm sure.
He just gave him the blinds for free, didn't want to compete.
Neither player wants to make a mistake at this point. They're going to consider every move very seriously. Remember, one of them is going to take 40,000 pounds. The other one's going to take 7,000. And there's just nothing in between.
Razor in.
Razor in.
Pass.
Peter's made the move and picked up 1,800 pounds.
He's not going to catch Devilfish by going all in, that's for sure.
He's got to get busy in a hurry. Well, he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him, but at least he's got a shot. There's 38 other players who would love to be in his shoes right now.
Call.
Another flop. 2 3s and a 6. Action to the bandit.
Check.
Turn card's a queen. Now he reaches.
Oh dear.
3,000.
He's walked into 3 3s. What a cool customer the Devilfish is. It's tough getting him to walk into the trap, isn't it?
Certainly is. I think Devilfish looks very
Last
relaxed.
hand in this round.
Marina looks more nervous than he does, doesn't she? Well, she's got that 40,000 pounds about 6 inches from her left hand. Peter's stuck in about half his stack with a king 10. Well, you'd think that's a pretty strong hand with only 2 players in the pot.
Sick of passing, man. 7,000?
700.
That's cool.
It's a hell of a big bet to call. With a 7-8.
I say there's 15,000 pounds right now. Top pair for Peter. He's gotta love that.
Check.
All in.
All in.
Yeah.
Peter makes
Okay, wins.
razor in.
Pass.
Well, Devilfish already busted one player tonight with a 7-8. But he came up certainly on the short end of the stick against Peter that time.
1 and 2,000.
Why do you think he called that hand?
I'm not quite sure. Maybe he just lost his focus for a minute.
2,000.
2,000.
He said before he put his money in, he's fed up with passing it.
We've just changed dealers and we've raised the blinds. The blinds are now at 1 and 2,000.
Call.
Option on the bandit. 6-7 of spades looks very attractive.
Call.
He'll just check. He'd like to see a flop for that hand. Well, both players have made a pair, but Devilfish is obviously higher with the
Check.
tens.
£3,000.
He's put 3,000 pounds into the 4,000 pound pot. That's a feeler bet if I ever saw one.
I'll pass.
He's gone.
He's folded. He's made a very good decision, as a matter of fact. Probably his best option.
He's more worried about the ace than the 10, I think.
Yeah. And he's still thinking about it, though. Remember, just one of these players is going to take all that money.
Call.
Options on the Devilfish.
Okay.
Call.
There's the flop. Queen 8-4 with 2 hearts.
Check.
Check.
No checking,
3,000.
says the bandit. Looks like a King 9.
Call.
Devilfish will see another card. 9-10 for him. Ooh.
Check.
No
Check.
help. The
Check.
Devilfish is on a straight draw. Peter's got the King high, but he can't like it. 3 4s on board. Oh boy, here comes something.
Pass.
There you go again. Neither player's got anything. The guy who bets picks it up.
What a play. 10,000 pounds in that pot, and Devilfish wins it on a song.
Like I say, it's an easy game when you play it from here.
I don't think I could have gotten those chips in the pot. My hands might have frozen.
Call.
He almost raised.
Raised.
I don't think the Devilfish has got nerves of steel. I don't think he's got any nerves at all.
If you look at Peter's stack, it has actually increased a little bit. He has actually picked up a couple of pots, which have moved him up about an inch or so.
Yeah, I would say he's looking at 15,000 now instead of 10. And that's only a 3-to-1
Call.
chip disadvantage instead of a 5-to-1.
Okay.
Call.
Another situation, 4,000 pound flop. Devilfish has got queens.
Check. Check. Check.
He checks twice with the
Just a
pair.
second.
Now we'll find out if he's laying in wait. Peter sticks 2,000 pounds in the pot.
Sorry.
Call.
Devilfish just called. Peter's got aces and threes. Devilfish is way in the lead.
Devilfish is going to call this so fast.
7,000.
I think he's caught Peter out on a limb here. He thinks he has two.
Call.
Shut on.
You got me, Dan. Oh, cool. You got me.
Peter knows he's
Aces and
beat.
queens.
Yeah.
He knows he's beat. He knows that if Dave can call, he can't win. Well, we were just talking about the progress that the bandit had made, but
Line speed.
there's a few steps backwards. His situation is almost critical, wouldn't you say, Nick?
It's just a question of when.
Well, with 2,000 pounds in the big blind, it's either now
Pass.
or the next hand.
Or a miracle.
Always nice to be the guy who's got the chips. Peter needs something big right here. Boy, does he want to see an ace.
Rolling.
All in.
Well, that'll do. He's gone all in with that hand one time already, and the last time he had a devilfish passed. But this time it's not for nearly so much. It's only 7,000 pounds. Devilfish has got 53 in front of him.
7,500.
Devilfish can call with almost anything. He's getting the odds to do that.
Call.
He will. He's got a big chance
Dave
to put the
calls.
bandit down for the count.
not very good
7,
on first,
5,
so you reach
2,
a win,
4,
so win
6, 7, 5. Okay.
Blue France.
Let's see the hands.
He's got Queen 10, and Dave has got King Deuce.
Dave's marginal favourite.
King leads the queen. Let's see the flop.
Okay, pair of 10s for Peter.
Give him the
I
queen.
don't want a queen.
See, give him the queen.
Don't give me a queen.
Dave needs a queen for a straight.
Here's a Queen.
Oh, he cursed himself.
Okay, you tell the Queen or 10 to win.
Could make a full house.
Okay, we got a decision. We got a winner.
Here on Late Night Poker, we have a result. Dave the Devilfish Elliott is a worthy champion and 40,000 pounds better off. From Nick Sharametta and me, Jesse May,